Hey guys, Josie here at YogaLocal. We are live this afternoon, this evening. It's kind of midway between. We've just had this change in the times, right? So we're all feeling a little bit out of sorts. Hope you're all well. And today we're going to be talking about is YogaLocal the right studio for you? 10 ways to know if. So hopefully we're going to get a few people online tonight because I am here live. So there is this opportunity for you to hop on and ask questions. So, and if you are coming to this later on, you can also just pop some questions in the comments. There's also a workbook that Alison has created for you as well to accompany this workshop. I'm just hoping you can hear me. So there's no one, there's no one here to let me know. So I'm recording both my phone and on the computer here. So anyway, hopefully on some level this will be recorded. So first of all, let's get straight in and answer the question: is this workshop right for you? Okay, so why have I decided to sit down and talk to you in this way? Well, first of all, if you can relate to any of the scenarios that I'm going to talk about now, this workshop is going to be really immensely valuable to you. So first of all, if you've been considering practicing, but you want to be certain that the teaching and the studio and the environment are the right fit for you, then this live workshop is going to give you some clarity around that and also shed some light on some of the most important aspects of what we're trying to do here at YogaLocal, what we're trying to achieve, what our passion is, how we do things around here. Second of all, if you're kind of done, as I have been in the past, with rocking up to gyms, which have a yoga program, but they basically are focused mostly on creating people who can do poses and have zero interest in helping you manage your mind and teach you all the more deeper practices of yoga, which ultimately, excuse me, leads to meditation, to help you learn to manage and cultivate your energy, to help you live a balanced lifestyle. Like, this yoga studio is rooted in the sister science of yoga and meditation, which is Ayurveda. And yeah, so this workshop will start to explain how what we do here will help you find that more soulful, strategic way to practice that's actually going to give you results in terms of what are your priorities. Is your priority to have long hamstrings and be able to Instagram your mates that you can touch your toes, or do you want to have the energy for life? Do you want to have a body that's going to be steady and capable? Do you want a mind that kind of can make clear choices in the moment? And do you want to pursue the idea that you're here for a reason? We all have a purpose, and when we're in that place, that's when we will really start to thrive, right? When we're showing up as our most expressive sense of self, when we can truly be who we are, then that's when, that's the juice, that's the prize, that's what yoga, for me at least, is kind of is offering. And it's just such a shame that we're just fixated in modern yoga terms on just like extracting the physical posture work and making that the be all and end all. Our bodies will get strong if we practice. But yoga, although there is movement and there is exercise, it's not the focus. So I don't, I fully understand. Let me just put it that way, that if you're confused about yoga, is because it's placed in the gym environment. Yeah, you go to the gym, it's part of that exercise world. So we've kind of separated, but there's so much more. And here you will get the full, complete experience. So talking of which, if you are, and again, I understand because I've been on this journey myself, this whole confusion over what yoga is. I mean, the amount of people that come in like, well, what style of yoga do you do? And there's such confusion around um, what is yoga, what practices are there, and I think there's a big barrier because people are kind of concerned that they're going to go into an environment where they don't fit in, and that's just like um, so heartbreaking, right? Because yoga is a practice for everybody. Um, but yeah, modern style yoga has kind of started to separate, extract some of the practices. So you get a kind of um, you get certain brands of yoga. Anyway, regardless, I mean, I'm not knocking that because there's lots of different ways we end up coming to the real core of what yoga is, and some of these offsprings, some of these ways in, myself included, that's how people find the practice. But it's, for me now, with what I know, I recognize that it's not a complete practice. And um, here we're talking of a classical hatha yoga practice. Nothing we do here really is innovative, right? So you've not got kind of like gymnastic based choreographed dance kind of sequences, which can be a really nice way to move your body. But these are not rooted in the teachings of a traditional yoga practice. What we teach here is tried and tested teachings that are undiluted, they are scientific, they follow a certain strategy. You'll be taken through that strategy stage by stage, step by step. It's all a process. That journey towards discovering who you really are and what your dharma is, your purpose in life, it's a quest, and it's one that you can't take you know lightheartedly. It's a real commitment, and the practices are there to guide us, and if we follow them in the order, in the way that the tradition dictates, how they've been passed by sage to sage, in a way that is orally passed in the main. So this is what we're teaching here: undiluted, scientific teachings that have been passed down through through the ages, through thousands of years. And if that's kind of what you're interested in, then stay tuned in, keep listening, because that is exactly the kind of practice that we're looking to offer here. Also, if you're ready to commit to this ever-evolving practice that's always kind of changing, we're changing all the time, our bodies are changing all the time. We need to learn to get self-reliant and self-govern and start to notice and be aware of our changing bodies and how it impacts our minds, and keep coming back to our mats to learn and grow and build. This whole yoga studio hasn't stood still from the minute we opened, like 10 months before we locked down. And as a teacher, I've evolved, and we're all evolving, and that's kind of the point. How do we evolve in a direction that is going to help serve us and help us grow and help us live healthy lives? For me, this is what yoga is about, and certainly it's how this studio is evolving and growing too. And yeah, also, if you want to be part of a community that wants the same things as you, right? We've really, as I said before, this place has really evolved. This whole technology situation, like, this is not something that I have experience in. It's something that we've just had to run with. When we were locked down, we took the teachings online, and if it wasn't for that, I probably wouldn't be as comfortable sat here talking to you. Not that I'm that comfortable. And kind of bringing out our message in this kind of very direct way. So, and part of that getting into the technology, trying to find ways to keep everyone practicing when everything was locked down, has meant we've had to think. We've had to really think about how we um, make the practice available to as many people as possible and take away some of the barriers. So we have created not only online classes, on-demand classes, we've also got the YogaLocal app, right? So this is where our community hangs out. We're not particular fans of Facebook. This is somewhere private that we can all hang out, and I'm also teaching on there. It's really important that we see the practice as beyond just what we do in the studio, and really in order to give you everything that I'm learning as I'm educating myself continuously. I need somewhere to do that. And the YogaLocal app is a place where I expand on the teachings. It's a place where you can access on-demand classes if you're part of the premium content level. But trust me, there's so much content in the free entry level as well. Plus the fact you're going to start to connect with all the people that can help support you on your journey, wherever you are at. We need support along the way. We need accountability, and just to keep plugging in, because this is a lifetime's work, right? If we kind of have something that keeps us continuously on track, just think of where you could end up if you're committed. So yeah, we can help you deliver on your intentions for your health, for your happiness, for your success, for your desire to become, right? You're in the right place, and we would love to welcome you to our family. So if you have specific questions that you'd like to ask me, still nobody showing up. Never mind, we do this anyway, right? We do this because I do this because it's important. It's important that I try and get the message out there, and and get more people practicing. Had this very clear kind of idea that we needed to, or part of my mission was to slow people down, and not to be dull, not to be lethargic, but to kind of escalate their evolution, really. So yeah, and I mean, I could go more into my story. I'm not going to today, but just to know that that it's really, really important to me that this place kind of represents who I am, what I'm here to do, how I'm here to help and serve. And as much as, when you come here, you're invited to express yourself as you really are, or learn or discover who that might be. It's also important that we're upfront and authentic with, what we're trying to do and achieve as a business, and who I am, and why I'm doing what I'm doing. So please use I'm sure there's going to be a replay here somewhere. Use the comments to ask some questions. There is as I said, there is a workbook. It's a very nice workbook that Ali's put together. Ali is my daughter, and she's also a teacher here. So you can, go along and fill in some of the missing words, and also there's space for you to write some notes. So hopefully you can think about jotting down some notes. And then we've also got a page where you can find out where to go next. Okay, but before we do that, let's go through these 10 ways to know, right? This is just a little bit of fun, and you can fill in the missing gaps. Okay, so number one reason, well, not number one reason, they're in no particular order, but number one, YogaLocal, the first reason it might be right for you is you feel there has to be something more to practice than creating shapes and perfect postures. Okay, so yes, we use postures. The asana part of practice is very much part of a modern yoga practice, but it is not. It's not overly emphasized in any of the yoga texts. I think in the Yoga Sutra, Patanjali mentions asana, as in the postures, just 4 times in the whole text. So yes, there is more, and we are here to help you go beyond just the shapes and the postures. Okay. Number 2, you're in an exciting place in your life and you are ready to be self-accountable, to care for not just yourself, but your community and your world. So this is what I was referring to earlier about yoga being a practice of self-governing and taking charge of your own health and well-being as a way to have that ripple effect that just moves into every part of your life. When you are well, and trust me, I know I've been in that place where I've not been particularly well and not been particularly the best version of myself, shall we say. That feeds out, that affects everyone, right? Yeah, you go and torch the whole village. Okay, so you're not fit and well, then that is going to ripple out. So if we take charge of our own self, then there is this kind of domino effect, and it just starts things moving in ways that you can't even fathom, right? Yet life works in unfathomable ways. So yeah, you are not just taking care of yourself, you're starting to create this whole possibility for improving the lives of your family, your community, and and beyond, right? Anything is possible. Okay, so that was number 2. Number 3, you're in a challenging place in your life and you need a practice and an environment that can support you where you are at today. Okay, so, everyone comes to practice with their own set of emotional baggage, mental instabilities, bodily insecurities, imbalances. So, yoga can't possibly address everyone just by throwing out one size fits all kind of teachings. So what we do here is we teach you how to understand how to use yoga in an appropriate way that's going to serve you. As I said before, it's strategic. It walks you through the different stages of a hatha yoga practice. We start with purification and strengthening. That's steps 1 and 2. And then we start to calm and steady the mind. And then we can really move into the energetic conversation and start to go into the deeper practices. None of what we do here is kind of judged on the intensity of a posture. So advanced, intermediate, beginner, they are terms that we can use because we're all on different stages of our journey, but we don't measure it by whether you can get your leg behind your head, right? It's more you're an advanced yogi if you can hold presence, if you can hold stability. It doesn't really matter what the posture is, all right? The goal is to get into that deep state of stability and tranquility so that life flows through you, right? So yeah, how capable are you, right? How does your practice start to show up in your everyday life? That's the sign, that's the kind of litmus test really of an advanced yogi. Like, are you readily able to manage your life in a way that is calm, capable, you're not easily triggered, you're less reactive, you can be that person that just handles any situation with grace and ease. And I, as I said before, that's, way, way bigger value than being able to kind of like get your nose to your knee in the forward fold, or have your hamstrings fully straight, and all those things that I have found, this is my experience, have become part of the modern yoga experience, and being able to perform and kind of peacock your way through life and go, look at me, right? That's not what we are about here. We will celebrate, achievement. We will celebrate every part of your practice, but it's not the be all and end all. It's really something that I want to emphasize, because if people think it's all about the posture and they can't create that posture, then suddenly the whole world of yoga feels shut off. And that's just that's the heartbreaking part of what's happening in the modern yoga world. So yeah, you will be totally supported where you're at today. What needs do you have? And then helping you to recognize what they are. Okay, let's move on. Number 4. So maybe you have an existing practice, right? Maybe you're out there. I'm sure there's some yogis out there, but you may be not feeling like it's complete. It's maybe has something missing. And again, might be you if you're kind of just in an asana-based practice, a posture-based practice, a vinyasa-based practice, just throwing out downward dogs and lunges, and not really working very strategically with the breath. Maybe you're just ujjayi breathing, which is a very external breath and takes you out of yourself. And yoga is this internalizing practice that's bringing us to a state of meditation. At YogaLocal, every practice we do is a complete practice, which means it has posture work, it has pranayama, breathing work, and it depends again on which stage of practice you're at as to how complex and the certain techniques that you'll be introduced to. It's progressed, just like everything else in yoga. There's mantra, right? So we're getting ready to express ourselves fully through the frequency of sound. You'll learn a little bit about Sanskrit and the importance of using the Sanskrit language. Mudra, bandha, mudra being one of the more advanced kind of practices. Bandha work being our energy locks, working with energy locks. And every practice is completed with meditation. And we use kriyas. We're a tantric hatha yoga studio. So we're equally interested in the physical as the spiritual, recognizing that we have dual passports to our worldly life and our spiritual life. And when we can bring those two together, that's when we really start to up level and evolve, right? So the energy work with the breath work and bringing us to that place of connection. So a complete practice, guys. Are you practicing all those elements? Are you working towards a committed daily practice, right? Have you heard of the word sadhana, right? A daily disciplined practice. Doesn't always have to be posture work. Okay. So, this is something that, I found is, not even many yoga teachers are aware of this. So have a think, are you interested in like yoga as this complete, beautiful, auspicious practice that develops us in both our mind and body and that soul level. Okay. So if you don't have a practice yet, but you want to, but you want more from life and you are capable, you're just not sure how yoga can help, it's all too confusing, right? Does that sound like you? Well, again, you're in the right place, because we will take the confusion out. Again, it's systematic, strategic, it's a science. Yoga is a science. We follow the science, we follow the teachings, and we trust in it, we trust the process, and we get to where we want to be, all right? So, and we have the map here, right? Again, it's not random. We don't randomly throw sequences that look fun, look fancy. We're here to do the job of growing ourselves and evolving ourselves. And so we're following the tradition and honoring the tradition. And I think that's a really important thing to stress, that once you have that kind of map, right, you can really just trust and just keep putting one step ahead of, one foot ahead of the other. We might not know where the destination is or have any idea of what it might look like or feel like, but we can trust in making those incremental steps to where we want to be. And yeah, you'll be handheld all the way. So what are we on next? Number 6. So you can succeed when you are continually supported, encouraged, and guided through a process. So that pretty much covers what I've just said. We're here to move you forward in a sustainable, progressive way that will work for you. As you work in a way that serves yourself, you start to understand how practice can be designed, crafted, and how you can co-create the experience that brings you the outcome that you need in the moment. And obviously we need to work on our level of presence in ourselves, our level of being able to get into that place of witnessing, being conscious, recognizing the feedback that's coming back at any moment, so that we can make those subtle adjustments that are going to move us forward. So you'll definitely be encouraged and guided through a process here. So if you're just going off to classes and they're random, there's no threading of them together, there's no weaving of teachings together, it's just feeling like you're exercising and you want something more, and this is where you need to be. Okay, number 7, you can see the good in all people and everything, always desiring growth and expansion, even when time gets tough. So can this kind of like maybe speaks to your character a little bit? And there's, for me, I think there's an element of the people here that have that kind of inner knowing that there's more to them, there's more to their growth, and that they're capable even in those tough times. But we just need to kind of start to dig deep into our resources, build our resources, and here you'll get the strategy to move towards that. Number 8, you're unhappy, maybe even miserable with the direction your life is taking right now, but you're scared to change course. Okay, call it you're stuck in a place where you feel like there's no way out. And I've been there myself. I recognize that feeling, like it's so restrictive. You feel so constricted, like that you're contained within these walls. Yoga will teach you that to start to let those walls down, give you that sense of expansion beyond where you're currently at, start to give you that enthusiasm, confidence, that will, that determination, get you out of all that stuckness, all that lower mind thinking, all your complaining tendencies, right? We start to witness them. Yogis is not for softies, right? Because we do that inner deeper work, right? And we go in, we reflect, and we see what needs to change, right? How do we move past the situation that we're currently experiencing and the circumstances that we're currently at? We are blessed with the power of choice as a species, right? So every other animal in the animal kingdom is pretty much just guided by nature and their natural urges, and just in that survival space. But as human beings, we've been blessed with this capacity for choice. So, we can all stay and we can all sit and we can blame life for where we're at, or we can take life by the hands, we can arrest it, we can be present for it, and we can start to rebuild and make those small steps towards where we'd rather be. Okay, number 9, getting there. Number 9, you need to focus on your resilience. You want to master your mind and you want to manage and cultivate your energy, but you are not sure where to start. Okay. As I said, we are taking you through the stages of a hatha yoga practice. It will build you into those areas in a very scientific way. So we start in our anchor practice. So anchor is a moon practice, which is designed to get us calm, steady, stable, capable, building our breath, focusing mainly on our forward folding and our twisting practice to get us into those energies that keep us balanced and equal. We can't start to up level energy until we've got our mind prepared, our mind stable, and then we can start to really see things from a very steady perspective and not getting flipped out, not becoming reactive, not getting defensive, not moving into our sense of ego and protecting our sense of identity. So there's this learning that happens in anchor where we master our capacity to get still, master the breath, start to master the mind. And that will then help us to move into our rise practice, which is a sun practice, more solarizing, which kind of is code for energy, prana. We start to build our prana. Prana is our life force, and we start to get more sensitive to our energetic body. We're so in the external, our senses are pulling us out of ourselves every day, every minute of every day. So getting still and in our moon practice and then becoming more internalized to start to witness ourselves as an energetic body, and where is our energy at? How do we start to work with the energetic information that is governing our bodies all the time, right? We have downward energy, eliminating energy. We have energy that brings things up to the surface, expansive energy, digestive energy. These energies are playing within us and out of us. So as yogis, we get really artful at recognizing these energies internally and then learning to work with them. And then ultimately that helps us create this environment, this pranic landscape where we can really start to master our mind. And we feel that inner strength, inner confidence. We start to light our own internal fires. We power up and get more capable and start doing things like opening yoga studios when you never had any intention of doing that when you first went into it, because you were muddled and anxious. I'm talking about myself here. You just don't know where life is going to take you. But if you start to kind of align with it and flow with it, it's it really is an amazing practice. It's just going to take you exactly where you need to be. So if you're not sure where to start, I encourage you to come here. This is where you could maybe start the next kind of chapter in your entire life. And that is no exaggeration. Okay, number 10, final one. I've talked a lot, haven't I? I didn't realize it was going to take this long. Hopefully you're still listening. Again, get those comments down. I would love to know. I mean, this is not easy for me to do. So it'd be really cool to get some feedback and let me hear what you've got to say. Let me hear if you're excited to come and practice here with us, with our community, and get involved. Okay, so number 10, you have a solid yoga asana practice, but have been taught little or nothing on meditation, mantra, mudra, bandha, breath, and kriya. So I think I covered that a few steps back. Okay, but again, it's a complete practice. I think that, and this is, again, just my own observations, and, feel free to shoot me down, but I think a lot of this stuff doesn't get taught, because teachers haven't been taught how to teach it, or they don't practice it themselves, so they don't really understand it, and they're not confident on delivering it. So you'll get kind of the posture work, because that's where people are comfortable, and also that's where also what I found is students, that's where they're comfortable starting, because it's a little bit woo, it's a little bit way, talking about, our spiritual nature. But honestly, everyone, I'm sure, has had this experience of soul level experience of when something just felt right, of when life just flowed, when you had this uncontrollable urge to be or do something. That part of us is being suppressed. That part of us is being ignored, and we are just very, external. And we're in these crazy busy lives that keep us in that swirl, keep us in that mental noise. And we're so drowned out from who we really are that we're not even able to imagine that there's something that's more, that there's something more, right? And, I think certain people are afraid of these conversations, are afraid of putting people off. It's such a shame, because it's such a fundamental part of a complete yoga practice. So, we're just missing this opportunity if we're not kind of taking in the full richness of the tradition, the full richness of the practice. Both Alison and I have been trained through previous to other trainings, or that's not subsequent to previous trainings. Our most recent training has been with the practice in Bali online, and I cannot emphasize just what an incredible teacher our teacher is, Octavio. And it's to his credit that I feel like now being able to sit here in front of you and be completely like confident and authentic in what I feel and how I want this place to be, and who the kind of practitioners we're looking to grow here. And yeah, so I want to just kind of acknowledge, that the amazing teachings that we have been given, both Alison and I, and now it's our mission to pass those on and help to do whatever it is that we're now meant to do to help kind of other people find their way and find out who they are and what they're capable of. And I don't just mean being able to touch your toes. Okay, so we'll wrap up there, I think. So if you are ready to step into this world of yoga, start to get your mind stable, start to light yourself up from the inside out, and really start to explore what is possible for you, then this place is the place for you to be. And we would love to welcome you. We have a beginner course that runs for 6 weeks. So it's a 4-week begin course with a 2-week introductory pass to our classes here, which will get you on that road. But also, if you are coming to one of our scheduled classes and you've not practiced before, particularly, I would start with our anchor practice. Get onto our website, www.yogalocal.co.uk. You will be invited to register, and then you create your own account, and you can book onto any classes that sound where you are in your journey. And the next begin course starts this Saturday. It's the 2nd of April, 10:30 Saturday. We've just got 3 spots left. So if you want to kind of take action now, then get online and start and book up, so you're not disappointed. Otherwise, there'll be it's an 8-week kind of cycle between the begin course. So if you don't catch this one, it'll be 8 weeks before you can jump on that. We do have an online beginners course, which you will get as part of the in-person course, but you can also do that separately if you want to just get the basics going. And you can access that in our YogaLocal app, which I talked about earlier. To access that, you can get into it through the community button on our website. But also if you key in the yoga-local app.mn.co, then that would take you to just the YogaLocal app part of the website. Sorry, I'm getting distracted because the phone's going. I'll ignore that for now. Hopefully they'll leave a message. And what else did I want to tell you? Oh, and yes, and I mentioned Ayurveda as that kind of overarching umbrella science that brings everything into this practice of creating the lifestyle that's going to support you in this yoga journey. If you want to learn about Ayurveda, I'm doing a free intro workshop this Friday on the 1st of April, and there's only 2 spots left on that one too. So if you want to learn about Ayurveda as a sister science to yoga, healthy living a balanced life, then again, be quick and jump on that. Okay. Great stuff. Okay, well, unfortunately I had no one to talk to today, but we'll be more and more offering these live kind of platforms. So hopefully over time, as they become more common, you'll get to know what they're about, and you'll jump on and come and say hi. And otherwise, I'm going to say cheerio. Thank you very much for listening or watching, however you're accessing this information. And I hope to see you in the studio soon. Okay, bye for now.